What's going on, guys? Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about some new information with Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Now even though we had a Pokemon Direct just last week which introduced a bunch of new information for Pokemon Sword and Shield, just a few days ago was Nintendo's E3 and we still got a ton of new information. Now in terms of all the news that we got from the footage at the Nintendo Treehouse, as well as what they showed in the Nintendo Direct, I'm going to have a video on all those things coming out this weekend in a few days, so you can definitely look forward to that. But in this video, I want to talk to you guys more about that confirmed leak that we got for Pokemon Sword and Shield, which we all found out about after the Pokemon Direct last week. So right after the Pokemon Direct ended last week, someone discovered that there was actually a person on 4chan who leaked all the contents of that Pokemon Direct 2 weeks before we even knew it was going to happen, and all of that information was completely accurate. They predicted the names of the characters like Milo and Leon and Sonia. They also got some of the names of the Pokemon correct like Wooloo, so all of that information is pretty much confirmed. Now I did make a video about those leaks, but if you haven't seen that video, there should be a little eye up in the corner right now, so you can go ahead and click on that or tap on that if you want to go and check out the video, but I'll also have it in the outro as well. So those are some of the leaks that have pretty much already been confirmed for Pokemon Sword and Shield. And with the new Sword and Shield information that we got at E3, it seems that that leak is just getting more and more credible, but the crazy thing is that it looks like that leaker has returned once again to provide us even more information on Pokemon Sword and Shield, and so now we've got a whole new set of leaks here that I really want to talk to you guys about, and this is also pretty much confirmed as it's coming from the same person. And so before we take a look at this new set of leaks, I am going to give a spoiler warning right now, as this pretty much is confirmed information at this point. This just can't be a lucky guess, and so if you don't want spoilers for Pokemon Sword and Shield, then this is the time to click off the video. Alright, you're still here? Nice, I like you. So let's take a look at this leak. So the first thing that it says here is that other Pokemon that are going to receive new Gigantamaxing forms are all 4 of the Tapu legendaries, which will become masked to become giant colossi. Now if you're confused about what Gigantamaxing is, that's why I recommend that you go and watch the first video about the leaks, because that's where he went into more detail about the whole Gigantamaxing stuff, so definitely go and watch that video. But it says here that all of the Tapus are going to receive a Gigantamaxed form. Now if you guys remember the exclusive Tapu Z move that was in Pokemon Sun and Moon, it kind of makes a lot of sense because they did turn into like a giant colossal looking thing and then they punched down into the ground, so maybe that thing has some sort of significance with what the Gigantamaxed form is going to look like. The next thing that it says here is that Charizard, Flygon, Tyranitar, Hydreigon, and Volcarona will receive Godzilla-Inspired Design changes with their Gigantamaxed forms. Now all of these Pokemon I'm pretty sure have already been confirmed to be in the game. We have seen Tyranitar running around in the wild area, we saw somebody fighting with a Flygon, and then I think Hydreigon was shown in a screenshot for a max raid battle, so all of these Pokemon do exist, but the crazy thing is that it says that they're going to receive Godzilla-like designs. And if you guys remember the Pokemon press conference that happened a few weeks ago, there was actually a person who came up on stage and said something about Godzilla, and then right after he got off the stage, there was a person after who came and he was like, well, thanks for bringing up Godzilla at our like Pokemon press conference, but what if it was intentional? Like what if he really brought up Godzilla because of these designs that they're going to receive in Gigantamaxed forms? It sounds kind of crazy, but maybe it was somehow connected. The next thing that it says here is that Meltan evolves in-game by leveling up while Dynamaxing into Melmetal, and this also makes a ton of sense. The way that they had Melmetal and Meltan connected with Pokemon Let's Go was just really ridiculous. Like a lot of people just didn't do it to get the Pokemon. You essentially had to have Pokemon Go and then transfer like multiple Pokemon back and forth. It was just a very confusing process and a lot of people just didn't bother with it. So I was assuming that they were probably going to do something like this anyway with Sword and Shield. Like regardless of if this is real or not, I'm pretty sure they're probably going to do something with Pokemon Sword and Shield and getting Meltan and Melmetal easily, so this makes a ton of sense. The next thing that it says here is that Rotom takes control of an entire stadium to fight, and I'm pretty sure here they're referring to like the gym battles. We have seen that gym battles inside of the Galar region take place inside of these big stadiums, and they're like a really big thing inside of this region because they're broadcasted on television, and during those gym battles, there's actually like a little Rotom drone that flies around as like a camera, and it gets like a whole bunch of zoomed up shots and stuff, so I think that that's probably what they're referring to. The next thing that it says here is after becoming champion, the player will meet their manager Alan, who will help with sponsorships, host tournaments, and create advertisements and posters that can be seen around Galar. Doing these missions provides money and unlocks new outfits, TMs, and access to additional locations of the wild area. Now to be honest, this sounds kind of crazy, but I can actually see it happening. The way that they go in the Galar region with how all of these Pokemon gym battles are like stadium fights and how you have to get into a uniform and everything, they're really treating it as its like own big sport kind of, and it makes a ton of sense where if you become champion, you're going to get your own person who helps you with like sponsorships and big deals since you're going to be like a big celebrity like how Leon is right now inside of the game. The next thing that it says here is that there are over 98 new Pokemon and more if you're counting form changes. Now in my opinion, 98 is actually a really good number of brand new Pokemon to add. I was kind of hoping to have 100 plus new Pokemon, but 98 is still really close and really good. I think that it's just good because in the past we've seen that Game Freak really hasn't been giving us a lot of brand new Pokemon with our new generations. I think X and Y had like the fewest with only like 60 or so new Pokemon, and then with Sun and Moon it didn't really improve that much. We got like 80 some. So I think if this time around, if we're actually going to get 98, then that's a really good number to have. The next thing that it says here is that potentially every single Pokemon could be obtained through online raid battle events. Game Freak plans to have monthly online raids planned alongside events that are hosted at local retailers. One of the first raids planned is a Torterra to coincide with the Detective Pikachu movie. Now this is actually a pretty smart idea that I hope that Game Freak does. I mean, we've seen that there's going to be like these online raid battles, so if you're going to be able to have events every single month where like a new Pokemon is going to be available with like a hidden ability or something, and you have to do a raid battle to get it, I think that's going to be really smart for Game Freak to do. And they could also do a lot of these events at local retailers, like how it mentions in the leak. Like it could be like if you go this weekend at Best Buy, you can go ahead and team up at a raid battle and get this Pokemon. There's a lot of potential things that they could do, so hopefully they decide to do it. The next thing that it says here is that Leon is Team Yell's anonymous leader who uses his social media and power of fandom to target and damage trainers' receptions so they lose sponsorship in order to remain an unchallenged champion from trainers who he thinks could beat him. He thinks that Sonya purposely let him win their matches years ago and feels weak. He captures the other version's legendary in order to feel powerful despite leaving Galar unprotected by the evil legendary Eternatus. Now this is a bunch of crazy stuff, and if you guys want my honest opinion, I think that this actually has a chance of happening. I mean, the thing with Pokemon and me personally is that Pokemon is a really predictable franchise for me. Like I love playing it and I love experiencing the story, but a lot of times I'm easily able to predict how I think that a Pokemon story is going to end up. And like for example, when I saw Lucamine for the first time in Pokemon Sun and Moon's trailers, I just knew that she was going to end up becoming evil and she was going to do some crazy stuff, and that turned out to be true. And I felt the same exact way when I saw Leon for the first time with Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now even if Leon doesn't end up doing what was mentioned inside of this leak, I still do think that he's going to be an evil character. I think that his true intentions are definitely evil, and this actually does make a ton of sense. I mean, they talked about in the direct how he's got that undefeated record where no trainer has beaten him, but if these are his true intentions, that makes a ton of sense. If he sees like a strong trainer and he's like, dang, this trainer's actually powerful, they have a chance at beating me, I'm just going to do all of this stuff so they lose their sponsorships and they can't fight me at all. So it just seems like a crazy scheme, and to be honest, I can totally see it happening. And then finally, the last thing that it says here is that Eternatus has the power to control the minds of Pokemon and Gigantamaxing and Dynamaxing them into raid Pokemon. It's the first outright evil Pokemon and can only be caught via Dynamax. In order to use Eternatus, the trainer must purify its evil by befriending, playing, and petting it at camps. So from the way that they're making it seem, it looks like that this third legendary is actually going to be like a legitimate evil legendary that has bad intentions, and so it looks like you're actually going to have to befriend it too once you catch it and stuff, and I can actually see it happening. It kind of did seem like that way from what we've already seen with the legendaries. Like when they showed Zacian and Zamazenta, like I said at the end, they kind of looked up at the sky like there was something more that they were getting ready for, and they kind of got into that pose at the ending too where they were getting ready to fight something. It just seems like they're both friends and they kind of know that there's actually something worse that's out there, and they're probably referring to this third legendary. Now it also does say that the leaker is going to post more, so I guess we're just going to have to wait and see if that ends up being true, but he's already given us so much information. Like that first leak already had a whole bunch of information that was shown off inside of the direct. We've got a bunch of information from that, and then if this is also true, then we've got a whole bunch of information, and we essentially have a lot of the story details already for what Pokemon Sword and Shield are going to be like. Now I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the video, but I am going to have the leak linked in the description, so you can definitely go ahead and check it out. And so there you go guys, that's the second big leak that we have right now for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. It comes from the same person who got everything in that Pokemon Direct correct as well, so it has a really good chance of being true. Definitely be sure to click that like button if you guys enjoyed this video, and also comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this. Do you guys like this leak? Do you not like it? Do you think that it's real? Do you think that it's fake? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Pokemon content in the future, so please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon, Smash Bros, Nintendo, and Xenoblade, so definitely be sure to join that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.